Well, hello everyone. Thank you for watching. I think I've got a little project today that you might find helpful. We've got a little dog, and the other day I walked away from the garage door and didn't pull it closed, and he slipped right out on me. And I worry about him so much. I just want to put a little safety thing in place. So if I do that again and walk away without thinking to close the door, it'll self-close that so that he won't be able to slip out. So I think on the do-it-yourself side, this is not that difficult. I mean, you do have to drill a few little holes, but you only need a Phillips screwdriver and just, it only took about a half hour to put this in. This is I mean, for less than $9, this is a pretty nice little hinge. It's heavy, stainless steel. I think it would support a pretty heavy door. Uh, I started to realize I was sounding like a commercial. Look, guys, there's a lot of competing products in this market, so uh, I'm not trying to push this one. I was kind of surprised. I didn't really realize Amazon was in the door hinge business. Well, anyway, here's the existing door hinge. Now, this was a pre-hung door, and in it really wasn't done very well. That door is about an eighth of an inch off, but anyway. So when I put this new hinge in there and started looking at it, I could tell right away that these holes weren't going to line up very well, and I was like, well, maybe I should just look for another hinge, or this isn't going to work. But in the end, I decided I'd just go ahead and mount it on there and see how it worked, and maybe I'll come back later with a different one. I mean, I can always put the other one back on there. Put a little wood putty in those holes. So the only trick here will be that I drill those holes really straight. There's no real margin for not putting the hinge in straight. Normally with a door hinge, you've actually got a 16th or so. You can be off with no issue at all. Uh, but for this one, I want to do a little bit better. So I took and got the hinge in the position where I thought it should fit. I made sure that it was flush with both the door facing and the door. And now, I just turned the drill slow. I got a little tap bit just where the center of that hole is, and just kind of went slow so that when the screw goes in, it would stay in center. And right here, I've cut out the part of the tape where I dropped that screw 3 different times. It was a little bit embarrassing, really. Anyway, speed through this, got the screws in, and then just repeat the process on the door facing. And of course, the door facing, there's not a lot of space there. Those holes in this case really needed to be straight or perpendicular into the wood. So same thing. I've marked the holes now. Just kind of run the drill, center, get a hole drilled for the screws. I'm actually speeding along through the video for this. I went pretty slowly with this. I didn't want to split that door, the wood in the door. So once you've got that in there, same thing, screws in, just go easy with it, tighten up, and now just test it. And I was happy with this. It didn't seem to have any undue pressure on the hinge. So this part, loading the spring, is a little bit confusing. You put the Allen wrench in the top of the hinge. My dog was barking there. Allen wrench in the top of the hinge, and you turn it clockwise, and then you use the little jam pin to hold it while you test the door. So back to this. This is the package you may recall from earlier. There's an Allen wrench in there, and then there's a long jam to hold it while you're adjusting the tension, and then two shorter pieces of metal that you'll put in once you get it the correct amount of tension, or the amount of tension that you want. God, I'm not explaining this very well. You put the Allen wrench in the top, and then you just turn it clockwise, and that winds the spring tension up on the hinge. So I've got the Allen wrench in there, and should speed through some of this here. Okay, so now I'm winding it up a little bit, and you can see the little holes going by. Now I put the jam rod in there, release the Allen wrench, and it will hold that tension, and then test the door to see if it's, it's closing quickly enough for you. So I thought I needed just a little bit more of a closure force, so here I am, I'm turning it again and moving the jam bar a little further around, and then test the door again to see if I like that. And now I thought it was, oh, that's just a little bit too much. So I'm going to put the permanent locking bar one hole less than it currently is. God, I hope that makes sense. If anybody knows how to word that in the comments a little better, that'd be great for anybody, the 5 or 6 people who happen to watch this video. So, okay, so now I'm going to release it, right, and hold it there to make sure I know where I want it. Test it again, make sure that that's the right closure on it. Whoa, thunder here. Can you hear that? It's always raining here in Louisiana. So now I'll put the short pin, now that's the permanent pin in there, and push it in all the way. I actually got my screwdriver and tapped a little bit. This is not the proper use of tools, by the way. I would probably scold anybody I saw actually doing this, but I just tapped it a little bit with my screwdriver. Okay, so it's in there. Just a couple more tests now, and make sure that it's moving the way you want it to. You can see, just open it up, let it go, and the spring tension pulls it too, but not too hard, and it's not going to bind you up in it when it closes or anything. And just throw the old hinge in the box just in case I want to put it back on there. So thank you for watching, and best of luck.